All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Ashley Hazeltine. I'm the president for the Greater Derry Londonderry Chamber of Commerce. I also wanted to recognize a couple of our team members as well as our co-hosts this morning. So our vice president is Heidi Morrison in the back. And we are happy to co-host this morning's mixer with the Greater Salem Chamber of Commerce. So we do have two staff people from the Salem Chamber as well. We have Jen Lord and Pat Good. And also both chambers are thrilled to have very involved board of directors as well as ambassadors. So if you are one of those groups for either chamber, if you could just raise your hand. I know we have quite a few in the room. Thank you. So I'm going to send the sign-in sheet around in case you missed it on your way in this morning. If you would like to receive updates from the Southern New Hampshire Public Health Network, this will get you right onto their mailing list. So, there we go.
Ashley?
Yes.
Pat from the Salem Chamber.
I said Pat's name when I said Jen's name.
Someone get Nick a
You're just seeing if we had coffee yet. Also, speaking of coffee, a huge shout out to the Grind Rail Trail Cafe, which is located in downtown Derry, for providing the coffee and the breakfast this morning. She really supports the entire region, so was happy to be able to get involved. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Brenda Gugesberg from the Upper Room and the Public Health Network.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. I serve a variety of roles. I am a member of the chamber, both chambers, and I also am one of the 5 leads in the Public Health Network in this community. And I also am the executive director of the Upper Room. So I have a variety of hats, as probably most of us do. I'm really excited today to talk about what the Public Health Network is doing to strengthen the community. And today's topic is really around strengthening you as employers and retaining your employers. So the Public Health Network, I'm going to try to do this. Good at this. It's not moving, Colleen. Am I pushing this or this? I pushed that. It's not going forward. Sorry. So I can start without the slide. So our Public Health Network is one of 13 public health networks across the state of New Hampshire. Part of our mission is to make sure that we're strengthening the communities of which we're in. The South Central Public Health Network has 5 lead partners in it and over 50 other partners in the community. Parkland happens to be one of them, and some of the businesses and community agencies that you use are some of those partners as well. Our goal is to bring information and support to the community in a variety of ways, through service, through environmental strategies, and through education. So the 5 scopes of work are the Public Health Advisory Council. The Public Health Advisory Council is kind of the overarching piece of the network that oversees all of the work the network does. There's the Substance Misuse Prevention Group, and I'm going to introduce some people in a few minutes, and the Continuum of Care. There's the Public Health Emergency Preparedness, of which Colleen Monks runs, and the Young Adult Strategies, which the Upper Room supports in this region. Today, we're hoping, the purpose of today is to offer you guys some information about the resources available through the Public Health Network that will help you retain and maybe strengthen your employees or the ability to keep employees in your businesses. More than 25% of employers and HR departments right now are concerned about retention over the next 5 years. As we know, we're in a workforce shortage in some industries. Some of your industries probably have a higher risk, and if you're in the food industry, if you're in a trades industry, you may be at even higher risk to keep your employees retained. The cost for turnover, if anybody has had that happen, is astronomical, and it's not just financial, it becomes moral. It's really hard, or morale. It becomes really hard for people to stay engaged if there's constant turnover in an organization. One of the things that we're hoping today we can present to you is how to provide services and linkages to resources so that your employees see you as one of their allies. Connectedness to the workplace is one of the ways that employees can stay engaged in their work, and one of the ways that you can show your commitment to them. So some of the things we're going to show you today are related to those strategies. Okay, perfect. So is that working now? Okay, awesome. Oh, just push that, okay. So I am going to introduce Sue Sentner. She is with the Community Alliance for Teen Safety, and she's going to represent the substance misuse prevention segment of this presentation.
Hopefully I am hooked up. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here today. Thank you, Brenda, for an overview of the South Central Public Health Network. My name is Sue Sentner, and as Brenda mentioned, I'm the director for a small nonprofit here in Derry that was founded in 1996, prevention-based. Our substance misuse coordinator, Caitlin McDonald, would have been here with you this morning, but we have sent her to attend a national prevention conference in DC, so she is busy learning about new things, which we hope to share with you when she returns. The substance misuse prevention scope of work really is about listening to our partners in communities, in the 10 communities that we serve under the Public Health Network. We are interested in what you see, your insights, whether you are wearing your personal hat or your professional hat, your insights and your knowledge about how your community, your neighborhoods work, what's important to the people that you serve through your businesses. Those are things that are really enlightening to us and help us understand how we can best support you. As Brenda said, our focus today is to really help you as business owners or managers support your businesses to be more successful, to support your employees who you want to be healthy, and all of that contributes to really the bigger picture of helping to make our communities safer and more viable. What we do in the prevention scope of work is to really provide opportunities for our community partners from the different sectors, which are law enforcement, community supports, healthcare, safety, education, and of course business, opportunities to come together and share what's happening. That cross-sharing can be incredibly enlightening and very helpful for all of us to develop strategies to move forward and address issues that are really quite eroding to the fabric of our communities, particularly around substance misuse. We certainly look at best practices. We look at what the data shows us in order to sort of guide our efforts and help to make them more strategic and more successful in the long run. So your voices are really critical and very helpful in supporting that general overall effort. I wanted to just bring your attention on your chairs. There is a little flyer. There's some wonderful resources noted at the bottom. There are both local resources that the Upper Room offers and some of the other partners in our public health network, as well as some wonderful state and national resources that you can tap into that may be of benefit to your business and to your employees. One of the things that we're aware of is that 75% of people with diagnosable drug or alcohol issues do have a full or part-time job here in New Hampshire, and that can have, short-term and long-term impacts on how we can be successful in creating safer communities. Also, 80% of workplace accidents or injuries are often caused by or harm people other than those who are abusing substances. So, those situations can have impacts that are quite large for, a business owner and for employees and families. Businesses are also really unique and important parts of community in that you can provide those access points for your employees to resources that are critical, such as drug and alcohol or mental health services. And that's a really unique thing that perhaps other sectors in the community don't have that structure to do. And you're also really important touch points for family members and loved ones to participate, in different ways in order to build their resiliency around some of the challenges that we all face. So I just wanted to thank you again. We hope that this opportunity for you to meet us will lead to other opportunities for us to follow up, perhaps have further conversations that we might be able to help you in some way and link you to some of the wonderful resources that are out there. And most importantly, learn from you, what are you seeing? What is it that's important to you? We want to be able to be that resource for you. So thank you. And I'm going to introduce Elizabeth. I can transfer this over. Thank you so much. So I have
Oh, all right, that's all I need. Awesome. So hi, I'm Elizabeth Duffy. I'm the Continuum of Care Facilitator for the network. And that's kind of a long and somewhat confusing title. So basically what I do is I partner with Sue and Kate quite a bit doing the prevention initiatives here in the area, as well as looking at assets and gaps in the community. So I'm the person who tries to keep track of all of the resources that we have in the area, whether it's AA meetings, NA meetings, looking at actual more treatment resources like intensive outpatient programs, that sort of thing. Then I also do some of the work with the state initiatives, so that could be some of the Governor's Commission task forces, could be the doorways, anything that is coming down the pipeline. I try and keep my ear to the ground so that way I can bring the information back to the area. We're all really busy, so it's nice to have that one person who is able to disseminate information like that. And then another one of the big things that I do is I do a lot of focus groups with people who are in recovery themselves, or maybe they're still going through treatment, to try and figure out what some of those barriers are that we have in the community. A lot of what I hear is transportation and insurance related. Unfortunately, I'm sure we all could have expected that. But it's nice to hear from people who are going through this and try and make it a little bit easier for them to get the resources that they need. And lastly, we do have a resource guide available. It's, unfortunately we can't click it here, but on the South Central Public Health Network resource guide, it's on our website, has all of the prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery resources available in the region, as well as a few in Manchester, because I do recognize that all of our detox services are in Manchester, so we have to be aware of where they are. And that is kept up to date quarterly-ish. We don't do any printing, otherwise we would be printing a rainforest every time that I have to do an update. So it is available anytime that you need, and I believe my email is on there So if anybody has questions about where something is located, you can get in contact with me.
Okay, so I'm going to scoot back to kind of wrap it up. What this means, I'm not really good at this, so I'm going to stick that there. What this means for you, here's some of the details that might be really important. We offer CPR and Narcan. That might be important in your business. We offer services to young adults. I suspect, and I would never ask by a raise of hands, but I suspect that some of you might be hiring people who are 18 to 25 years old. I also suspect that there are times where you're concerned about the performance of those individuals based on maybe what they do over the weekend, but based on the possibility of maybe some mental health concerns, some substance misuse concerns, some life stress concerns. That's where we come in. We have a program that supports people. We can meet you in the workplace. We can meet them in our center. We can meet them in the community. What we're trying to do is help people gain the strategies and the resilience to stay employed. That's a really big part of our mission. And to stay employed with health. So we will come in and work with that individual. It might be one time, it might be months of time. We can come in and do lunch and learns. We can come in and do workshops for your employees. We can do assessments with people to see, do you feel like there might be a concern? As a network, we want to make sure that you know we're available for services and also for some of those larger deliverables like the CPR first aid. Our resource guides are constantly changing as the systems within the state are. So what you see today will probably be different tomorrow, literally. Our services are typically free. So we want to make sure that as an employer you know, hey, I'm the HR person, I'm the EA person. I might be the only person dealing with the personnel issues, and I'm really concerned for this person that I work with, and I want to make sure they have access to something so that I show my care for them and my compassion, but also so I have an employee who's functional and who can perform well. I don't want a Monday morning hangover. I don't want to have that happen in my environment. So having the resources and having access quickly to those options for your employees may help you better be able to retain those employees, retain them with health, but also be a good employer because they see the buy-in. You're buying into their health and their wellness. Some employers can't offer health care. They can't afford it. They can't offer some of the other benefits. But if you're the employer who can hand off a business card or bring someone in to talk at your staff lunch or a lunchtime for your employees, that may be the key to get them the services they need. So we just want to make sure you understand that. Simple, easy takeaways. Here are your key contacts for the South Central Public Health Network. We all work together, and we meet together, we work together. We're always kind of strategizing and working to try to make sure that this environment, this community is strong. Our public health network does serve Salem, Londonderry, Derry, and all of those communities around it, so all of you are part of that. And I wanted to make sure if you have questions afterwards that those of us who are here, Colleen, Sue, Elizabeth, and I, Celia is with CLM as well, that you can connect with one of us if you feel like one of our services might be helpful to your workplace environment. There's materials to take away. There's a survey that will help us understand what you need from us, if we can be more helpful. And certainly if anybody needs us to come in and talk to you, we would have a one-on-one conversation with you to say, how can we help you? How can we help your environment? How can we help your employees? We would be happy to do that. So we're open to the public. We're open to you guys to be able to use as a resource. And we're hoping that knowing this information and having access where to turn when you have a concern for one of your employees is the first step. So thank you very much for being with us today. Have a good morning.